Hey guys, the view you're seeing through the camera is actually out of our bedroom window to the backyard. Those are the raised beds. They're directly in front of you. As you can see, it's snowing, and you're looking through a screen, so sorry about that grid pattern that you're seeing. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update of what was going on here at the house. And the primary purpose of this video is to show you the chickens that we now have and explain sort of the little adventure we've had with them. Turning the camera, you can see there toward the back, you can see the two of the four hen pens that we got. Those two are sitting dormant. We haven't even gotten around to staining them yet, and I still haven't done the repair kits on those two yet. The other two I have been completed out completely, and I've even stained them and all that fun stuff, and you'll be seeing them in a minute because they are currently occupied. But anyways, there is, and it's in the direct center of the screen. You can see the two little boards there and the bare patch. That is actually where one of the coops was just until a little bit ago. We got two Rhode Island Reds from my in-laws, both hens, about 2 months ago, and unfortunately something got through my fence and got one of them, and so now we only have one of them. That happened about a week and a half ago. I don't like really talking about that because it still kind of ticks me off that somebody's dog or coyote or something got in, which is what we're pretty sure happened. But anyways, I'm going to quit ranting and actually show you. But that hen and her friend were right there. We got them up closer to the house. But now I'm going to take you back to show you what we've got so far. And we just switched them over to the bucket temporarily, but that is 2 ducks and 6 little chickens. My wife went and got these. Tractor Supply would not let her get just 2 to add to the others that we already have, and so she ended up just going full blown on it. But they're in there temporarily. That bucket right there is where they're going to be once it's dry. We just had to clean it out and went ahead and rinsed it out and everything, so once it's dry they're going to be back into it. They have a little bit more space to move around in it. But there's 3 Rhode Island Reds, and then there's 3 whites that my wife does not remember the breed from whenever she was actually there at the store. And the 2 ducks, same thing, she doesn't remember the breeds on them. The white duck, which you can see kind of waddling around in the back, moving around, he seems to be the alpha in this little group, and none of the others stand much of a chance. But we're working on trying to figure out a little bit bigger space for him other than that. We'll get to it here pretty quick, because they're just getting a little bit too big for such a little space. But those are actually the newest, and you can see all of our shoes because of the snow and everything, keeping it back here instead of hobbled around the front. And these are our older ones. Please forgive the mess. It is winter. Our garage is completely crazy. That's our surviving Rhode Island Red right there. She's a sweetheart. But she was also the alpha hen of the group that my in-laws had. They had about 14, and a raccoon started getting into the coop that they had set up. And that raccoon kept getting in over and over before they finally figured out how it was getting in. I don't know the whole story on it, but anyway, she was the alpha from the beginning from what I'm gathering, and now she's all alone. And so, especially with the cold and everything, we decided to bring her in to where she'd have a little bit of company and start getting used to the new fellas. We've had these 3. We've had these 3 now for about, I guess, about a month to a month and a half. These 3 are all Cochins that I got from a co-worker. My wife happens to be the teacher for one of his students, and so we know the family fairly well. They're a great family, good kids, all that fun stuff. And so they actually sold us those 3. They're sweet, they're a lot of fun to watch. They have pretty strong personalities, and they're just, overall, they're just great little guys. But you can see how the hen pins are actually set up and how they're working. I've got, because it's so cold in here in the garage, I've got the heat lamp, which you could see pointed directly to them. And I've got a little utility heater that we're kind of turning off and on and keeping an eye on, just to keep some heat on the little ones. And she has actually only been in here for about a half hour now, so she's still kind of getting used to it. And I don't know if it is because of the company, those three little fellas in the back, or if it's just because it's warmer, but she, ever since that happened a week and a half ago, whenever she lost her last remaining member of her flock, ever since then she wouldn't come out of the coop at all unless one of us was there. And now you can kind of see that she's out on her own. She's a little bit more comfortable here. I don't know if it's the three back there that are playing a part in it or not, but I'm glad to see her out again. She was pretty depressed, and so it's good to see her moving. But anyways, this is actually the hen pen as it's set up. You know, we're really liking them. Here in a second I'll show you kind of a general idea of what I'm doing to make the big complex. We picked up some crates, and moving back around the house again, guys. Moving to another end of the room where I can look out of the window to show you something else that I'm working on. And peeking at them again. They're cute little fellas, that's for sure. Sorry about the movement. Sorry, just a minute. I'm taking over your room for like 35-40 seconds. And those three crates right there are actually going to get turned into a coop. I'm going to use some of those pallets that are now kind of sorted out way back there, and I'm going to use them to help with the structure and to get it set into the ground pretty well. But those three crates right there are actually going to be used along with this. I've got a box spring here that we don't need anymore because we just got those replaced because it's like 6 years old from when we got married. But I'm going to use it sort of as the base, just kind of as a guide for how big to make the actual walk-around area. And we're going to use those three crates to make the actual coop area. The very top one is going to be an area for them to perch on, and then the very bottom one's going to stay more open where they can run around. And of course we're going to put a little nesting box there. And it's going to have a roof, and for security reasons I'm going to use hardware cloth. It's going to be double layered inside and out of the overall structure to where there's about a 1-inch gap in between the two layers all the way around. A good friend of mine that grew up raising show chickens through his school organizations and stuff, he told us about a situation where he had his show chickens eaten by raccoons because the raccoons reached through the hardware cloth, got a hold of the chickens because they were just too close to the edge, and it snuck up on them, and it was actually reaching through and it was eating them alive with them right at the edge of the pen, even though it couldn't get in. And I am not going to let that happen, so it's going to be double layered, and where we're going to actually locate it is going to be way out there by where the wheelbarrow, where you can see it sitting right now. It's going to be right next to that gate, which I'm not sure how well the resolution will show, but that gate is right out there. Kind of in between here and that taller stack of pallets is where the gate is. But we're going to have it sitting right up next to it where we can actually open it up and open the gate up, and they can move into the backyard, which the backyard we're planning on fencing in. We've already got this fenced in area here. We're going to make several more in the side and the backyard area to where we have little paddocks set up where we can just move the chickens from one section to the next. That way they're never stuck in the same place for long, and they also aren't overfeeding on a specific area of the yard at any given time. But anyways, and they'll also have a secure place to stay right in that area using those crates. Oh, cool. I didn't even... You can actually still see the crates from here. If I'd known that, I wouldn't have gone in and invaded my wife's office for a minute. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys, and have a good one, and stay warm out there. It's pretty harsh right now.